Very good morning, dear students. How are you all? I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, this is our subject OC. We are discussing chapter number 4th, that is organizing, and this is our lecture number 13 in this particular chapter. Basically, it will take almost 10 to 12 lectures of one full hours when we are teaching in a classroom. But here online, we cannot discuss many of the things because of the limitations of the ideas or absence of the students. That's why still I am trying to give my best, and I hope all of you are enjoying my lecture and getting what I want to convey. Along with this, you have to prepare all the fair books and concept books so that it will be beneficial to you that whenever exams or any kind of unit test is nearest, then you will be able to read or learn from these particular concepts or fair books very easily. Now, in last session, we discussed about the importance of decentralization, in which we discussed basically 4 different concepts, that is quick decision, that through organizing or through decentralization the decision process will become fast, because when so many persons are involved, then it will be helpful to take the decision very fastly. Second, less workload at top level, because the distribution of authority and responsibility makes it easy for the top level to concentrate on some of the policy decision, while the middle level management and bottom level management is focusing on day-to-day activities and short-term goals. Third one is increased in motivation, when the employees are given authority and power to make any kind of decision, and when they are seeing that their decisions becoming successful, their confidence boost, and that will result into the higher level of motivation, and that gives the highest level of productivity to the organization. Now today we are starting with the 4th importance, that is the increase in management abilities. In decentralization, the middle and lower level employees take decisions as per their powers, and they are given independence for the same. Hence, they become efficient leaders. They develop skills to work in a coordinated manner. They develop able administrative skills, and they learn to administer control. Hence, the employees take decision in different circumstances, and they increase their abilities. In this way, the future managers emerge. Sometimes in 2 marks, in GR section, GR means give reasons section, it will be asked that with the help of decentralization the future managers emerge. Explain the statement, or how the future managers emerge with the decentralization. Then you have to write this full paragraph, that is increase in management abilities. In decentralization, the middle and lower level employees take decision as per their power, and they are given independence for the same. So, as we discussed in last session, that is in decentralization the top level authorities give some kind of powers and responsibilities to the middle level and bottom level authority, where they are able to take all the necessary decision regarding their department or their working area. Middle level management is somewhat more powerful than lower level management, because they have to take all the decision regarding their department or divisions fully independently, while the lower level employees are able to take decision on their working areas only, and they have to focus on their particular work. So, as per their powers, they are given independence for the same from the top level authority, and hence they become efficient leaders, because once you left them alone with the team and give them all the necessary power and decision making authority regarding all the activities of the organization, then they will be able to complete all the work by themselves only, and it increases the leadership ability into them. In cricket match also we are seeing that there are captain and vice captain is on the ground who are taking all the decision related to field, bowling, batting and everything. But when in the absence of a captain or vice captain someone else will take the responsibility, then they are also able to manage the team by themselves, because when you are giving a power and responsibility to a person, then he will be able to take decision by their own, and that creates efficient leaders for the future. They develop skills to work in a coordinated manner, because now they are able to understand that without the coordination and without teamwork nothing can be happened, and that's why they are focusing more on teamwork than on personal work. And hence, once they become efficient leader, they develop skill by themselves to work in a coordinated manner where they are getting help of others and giving guidance and direction to others for completion of a particular task. They develop able administrative skill and they learn to administer control. Along with leadership and coordination with other persons and other departments, they also develop able administrative skill where they can manage diverse workforce, diverse objectives of the employees. There are some of the efficient employees are also there in the team, while some of the inefficient employees, who we have to manage all these and administer all these different kind of people and work with them to get a definite result. And they learn to administer control. It means by experiencing a team effort or by experiencing a leadership, they learn how to administer the different activities with proper support. Hence, the employees take decisions in different circumstances and they increase their abilities. It means when you are giving a power and responsibility to the employees, they take decision in different circumstances, because each and every time the circumstances are not same. There are some of the challenges and problems and issues are there that can be solved by own abilities or through on intelligence, and in that case employees will take the decision in different circumstances and they increase their ability. So by this way the future managers emerge, because once we give the power and responsibility and once they are able to work by themselves only, then future managers will emerge in the organization. Now let us move towards the fifth point, that is effective control. The managers of all the levels have enough power, and so they can exercise control on the levels in which the employees commits mistakes. They can take disciplinary actions which becomes easy for them, and hence an effective control is maintained. If in any of the organization where there are more number of employees are engaged in any kind of productive activity, it becomes very difficult for a single person or a group of person to manage all these activities. But once when we division the work or distribute the work according to the working circumstances or according to the division or department, then effective control will become easy, because now we are having a full-fledged team well equipped with the knowledge that how to control the different or diverse workforce in an effective manner, and by that way we can exercise the effective control. The managers of all the levels have enough power, and so they can exercise control on the levels in which the employees commits mistakes. They can take disciplinary actions which becomes easy for them, and hence an effective control is maintained, which we already discussed that all the levels managers, that is at the top level, the board of director, general manager, then managing director, etc. are there, while at middle level different departmental and divisional heads are there, while at bottom level supervisor, foremen and jobbers. So all these managers have enough power. Like the top level authorities is the supreme authority, and they are having the power to control all the activities of the organization, while middle level department is having power to control their own department only, and bottom level is able to control their particular work area. So they can exercise control on the levels in which the employees commits mistakes. It means if any of the middle level manager is not able to achieve his result in a stipulated time manner, then the top level authority will take disciplinary actions. They charge a fine, or sometimes the penalty is also imposed, like they demote their authority or reduce their powers, etc. If any of the bottom level supervisor or foreman is failed to get the work done from the employees then or workers, then they will also attract some kind of disciplinary actions from the middle level management. So here all the level managers are having exercise or control on the levels in which if the employee commit mistakes, then they can take disciplinary actions by their own. They doesn't have to ask anyone regarding the disciplinary actions or penalties, which becomes easy for them, and hence an effective control is maintained. Likewise, if we break any of the traffic rule, if we break the signal or not properly over speeding, in that case the instant person or the instant police officer who is in charge of that particular point will charge a fine from you, because it is effective control. He is authorized, he has given some kind of powers where they can take disciplinary actions against all these people who are overspeeding or breaking the traffic rules of the roads. So it becomes easy for them, and hence effective control is maintained in road also. Same way in organization also we can see the different levels of manager is having a different kind of abilities, and they are able to take disciplinary actions against all those who are committing mistakes. Now the sixth and last one is the harmony is created. Due to decentralization at all the levels, employees are included in decision making process, and they are also given due importance. All the levels of officers and employees, that is the decision makers and the followers, they discuss things and then take proper decisions. In this process, one group comes in contact with the other group. In this way, an environment of harmony is created. Due to decentralization at all the levels, employees are included in the decision making process, and they are also given due importance. In some of the organization, even they are involving a efficient and oldest worker in the decision making process. We can see it in many of the movies, and in many of the books also it is written that sometimes when the worker is working for the same organization for more than 8 or 10 years, then he will become able to understand each and everything very easily. Now he is the part of the system and can contribute in the important decision making of the organization. Same way in decentralization, along with board of directors, we are involving different middle level managers, that is departmental heads, and supervisor, foremen and jobbers into the decision making process. So when all the levels employees are included in the decision making process and they are also given due importance, It is not like that. If the supervisor or the foreman gives some kind of suggestions, then board will neglect it. It is not that. They are respecting all the opinions and suggestions given by any level manager, whether it is the middle level or bottom level manager. Because here we can understand that all those who are actually implementing the work are lying on the bottom level managers. That is, supervisors and foremen has to work with actual workers who are working in the field. Say for example, in a factory, if any kind of production process is in the changing part, or we can say if we have to change the production process and implement the new production process in place of older one, then compulsorily we have to ask supervisors and jobbers, because they are all the time with the workers. They are knowing the behavior and working pattern of the workers, and they are knowing that if we implement a new production process, then what will be the outcomes, whether the workers will accept it or not. So in this case we have to ask the supervisors and jobbers regarding this, and if we neglect their opinions and supervisors and forcefully implement the new production process in place of older one, then it may happen that the workers will not work, or either they rebel the decision of the organization, or they stay out from the working, and hence at last the organization will suffer. Same way, if the middle level managers are neglected, then if any of the particular department will not work efficiently, then it may happen that the whole organization will suffer. So in decentralization, all the levels of employees are included in the decision making process. It is not stop here, that once we included them, then it is okay. No, not like that. Here they are also given due importance according to their suggestion. If the particular decision is not related with a particular department or a division or a supervisor, then it may happen that they will not ask for their contribution. But if the decision is regarding the whole organization or of the different circumstances and different activities, then compulsorily we have to involve all these levels of employees. All the levels of officers and employees, that is the decision makers and the followers, they discuss things and then take proper decisions. So basically decentralization is a democratic in a nature, where each and every employee is given due importance. Their contribution in suggestions, their opinions, etc. are due diligently taking into consideration. All the levels of officers and employees, that is the decision makers and the followers, it is obvious that top level and middle level are the decision maker, while bottom level is almost the followers who have to follow the decision taken by the top level and middle level, because both this level is associated with the intellectual decision making process, while the bottom level supervisors and foremen is associated with implementing the decision taken by the top level and middle level. So that is the decision makers and followers, they discuss things and then take proper decision, whether it is related to a small thing or a bigger change. Then also we have to include the middle level and bottom level managers in the decision making process, and we seek for their suggestions and opinions regarding the particular decision. Because whatever the things, if it is related with the actual or physical working, then compulsorily we have to take into consideration the opinions and suggestions of the bottom level managers. And if it is strategic in nature, like if there is a tough competition in the organization, and if the top level authorities wants to change some kind of processes or methodologies of the working, then also each and everything will be discussed openly by all the three levels of managers or employees who are involved in decision making process, and then with the concessions they are taking a decision. So consensus means all the agreements in the decision making by three levels of the managers. So whatever the decision it is, it will be taken after proper decision and discussion with the all levels of the managers. Likewise, in democratic management or in a democracy, we are involving even the opposition party in the decision making process. Whenever any kind of decision will be taken by the ruling party, it will be openly discussed in the state legislative assembly or parliament with the opposition and other parties, and then they will take a decision. So same way in decentralization also, before making any of the decision or before taking any of the decision, it will be openly discussed with the all levels of the managers, and then it will be taken as a decision making. So in this process of a decision making, one group comes in contact with the other group. Likewise, the supervisors, jobbers who are at the bottom level come in contact with the top level, that is the board of directors and general managers, etc. Because the middle level manager and top level managers are constantly in contact with each other, so they are in a contact, but the bottom level is constantly in a touch with middle level, so there is not a possibility to contact between a top level and bottom level. But with the decentralization decision making process, they comes into contact with each other and they will help each other in taking some kind of decision making. In this way, where each and every decision will be taken after proper discussion, the environment of harmony is created among the group or among the levels of the management. That's why in decentralization the harmony is created. So with this particular point we completed all the importance, that is 6 points. First one is a quick decisions, which we discussed in last session. Less workload at top level because now the work is distributed among the different levels of management. Increased in motivation because now people are able to take decision and they can see that decision becoming successful. Increase in management abilities. Then effective control and harmony is created. All these three importance we discussed today itself, so we are not again discussing it. And now let us move towards the limitations of decentralization, and after that the last point of this particular chapter, that is delegation of authority, will be started. But before that, let us discuss the limitations of the decentralization. The place where the organization is running on a very small scale and the business secrets are to be maintained with great vigilance, in this case decentralization cannot be accepted. So this will be a first limitation. Sometimes due to common policy not implemented or coordination not maintained properly, decentralization is not successful. So here in this particular paragraph, two different situations are given in which the decentralization is not acceptable at all, or we can say it is not successfully implemented. Now let us discuss these two limitations. As we discussed in the starting of this particular topic, that there are two types of authorities or organization structure is there. First one is a centralization, where each and every decision will be taken by the top level authorities or by a few members, while second one is a decentralization, in which all the decisions are taken with the help of each other. So same way in limitations also, the first case or the first limitation is regarding the centralization of power, because there are two possibilities, either centralization or decentralization. So in the case where decentralization is not successfully implemented, then in that particular case the centralization is the best option. So here the first limitation is that the place where the organization is running on a very small scale and business secrets are to be maintained with great vigilance. In this case, decentralization cannot be accepted. In many of the instances, it may happen that the person who is working with some organization later on start their own organization or join other organization as a partner. Basically, this happens with the sole proprietorship and partnership firm. Say for example, if I am running any of the shops, say for example, I am running a grocery shop in a particular area in a Bhavnagar region. I appoint one person as a helper where he is helping me in all the activities of the business organization. So in a first instance, the business organization is very small scale, and now the goods which I am purchasing from the market and selling to the customer, and by that way I am earning a normal profit or a huge profit, whatever the case may be. But once these things comes into the mind of a person to whom I have appointed, then after some period of time or after getting enough experience, he will try to start his own business. As the business secret is not maintained by me, so it may possible that the benefit of that secret will be taken by that person and he will start his own business. So same way, the place where the organization is running on a very small scale, that is either 10, 20 or 30 employees are employed, and the main thing is that business secrets are to be maintained with great vigilance, because in decentralization we have to compulsorily discuss all the things with all the levels of managers, and by that way the business secret cannot be maintained. Same way in the partnership firm, because in partnership firm also the decision will be taken with the help of all partners, and in that case the business secrets are not maintained. So in same case in decentralization also, due to the discussion with all the levels of managers, the business secret is not maintained with due vigilance, and in that case the decentralization cannot be accepted. So if we want to remove the limitation of this decentralization, in that case, if the organization is small and business secrets are to be maintained, then we have to focus on the centralization of a power, where decision will be taken by a single person, so that all others cannot understand or cannot know the secrets of the business, and there is no scope for any kind of misuse. Second one is, sometimes due to common policy not implemented or coordination is not maintained properly, decentralization is not successful. Like in some of the organization, they are distributing power and authority according to the geographical area or according to the position or according to the post of the employees, and not uniformly with all the employees of different levels of departments. Like sometimes they are giving more power to the financial manager and less power to other, or we can say the marketing manager or someone else. So here in this case the common policy is not implemented, and that's why the coordination is not maintained properly with the other departments and other organization, and in that case the decentralization is not successful, because it is the case of prejudice and biasness with the different levels of management. So in these two cases the decentralization is not possible at all, and that's why it becomes the limitations of the organization. With this particular point we are concluding our session over here. From next session onwards we will discuss the delegation of authority, which is one of the part of the decentralization of authority. Thank you very much, class.